All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. That's Illumination UrbanG. So, in the previous video, we were able to calculate the cost associated with Service Cost Center 1 using the compounded interest. Okay, this should be amount. This should be, sorry for that, this should be, okay, so this should be amount, and this should be the initial sum, which is principal. Okay, so we're able to use the compounded interest method to get the cost which is associated with the Service Cost Center 1. Okay, of course we're not given in the question, so we have to just find a way to get that. Okay, so we're able to get 726,000. At the end of the day, we're also able to use the simultaneous equation to get the total cost apportioned to both Service Cost Center 1 and Service Cost Center 2. So at the end of the day, we're able to arrive at 924 and 990. 924 and 990. Okay, so let us move on now and let's see the question again. So the question says that number 1, compute the value of the expense incurred by Service Cost Center 1, which we have done. So distinguish between the prime cost and the operational and the overhead cost. Okay, the prime cost, as we know, is the addition of all the direct costs, such as direct labor, direct material, and direct expenses. Okay, for this question, okay, so to calculate the prime cost, which is the allocated cost, that is allocation to production center A. Okay, let's put the thousand sign. So we're in the question, how much was allocated to production center A? The sum of 2,400,000 was allocated, which is the direct cost. Okay, for production center B, 2,100,000 was allocated, and for production center C, we're told that 1,500,000 was allocated. Okay, at the end of the day, we have 5, 5, 6, 10, 6 million. So our prime cost 6 million. Okay, and for the overhead cost, so we have the Service Center 1, which is 924. So it's also in thousand. Okay, 924,000, and for Service Center 2, we have 990,000. Okay, so at the end of the day, we are left with 4,1119. So 1,914,000. Okay, so that is that for the second question. So let's move on. So for the third question, we were told that we should apportion based on the simultaneous equation and also the reducing balance method. Okay, so we're going to be using simultaneous equation method, which okay, we have apportioned, which we have done already. We've done that. This is the apportionment, which we have done here. Okay, and we also told that use the apportion distribution. Okay, so let us now, we've not finished that. Okay, so let us now go ahead and apportion to the production centers. Okay, so apportionment to the production centers. So let us go ahead and do that. Okay, so let's see. So let's see, cost, allocation, and apportionment sheet. Okay, so we're told, okay, we have three production department. We have production departments, okay, we have A, B, and C. Allocation, we have, this is in 1,000, okay, 1,000 and 1,000. We're told 2,400,000 for A, 2,100,000 in the question, and 1,500,000. Okay, so for apportionment, okay. So for service center one, in the question, we were given that 20% should go to A, 40% should go to B, and 30% should go to C. If we look at this clearly, A, B, and C, that is 20%, 40%, and 30%. Since we have allocated to service cost center 2 already, so we want to reapportion. So what we are now left with is 20%, 40%, and 30% to go to the three production department. At the end of this, it should be 20 plus 40 plus 30, okay, which is over 90. Okay, so for A, we have 20 all over 90 multiplied by, for service cost center 1, we're told that total cost is 924. Okay, 924. For B, we have 40 all over 90 times 924. Then for C, we have 30 all over 90 times 924. Okay, so let's have the figures. Okay, so let's move on. So 20 times 924. 20 times 924 divided by 90. 20 times 924 is going to give us, times 924, that's 18,480 divided by 90. That's 205.33, okay, which is equal to, for A, that is 205 approximately. For B, 40 times 924, 36960 divided by 90. That's going to give us 410.6. That's 411. That should be 411 for B. 411. So dash. Let's put the total here. Total. Sorry for that. Total. Okay. So for this, we also have dash here. So for C, we have 30 times 924 divided by 90. That's 308. So for C, 308. So when we have 308 plus 411 plus 205, it must give us 924. So let's bring the figure down here. This is 6,205, 411, and 308. Okay. So for service cost center 2 now, let's apportion that. Center 2. A, from the question, we were told A should be given 40%. A, B, C. Okay, A is 40%, B is 20%, and C is also 20%. Remember that the 20% has gone to service cost center 1 already, okay? We will apportion that already to service cost. So we are now left with 40 plus 20 plus 20, which is also 80. So A is now 40 over 80. That's what we have left to apportion, multiply. So what's the total cost? So let's go back here. Let's go back. I don't know what's wrong. So what is wrong with this? Okay, I don't know what is wrong with the cursor. So I'll find my way around it. Okay. So what we're trying to do now is to just find a way to. So we have 40 over 80 multiplied by 924. Okay, no, so multiplied by the next one that we have here should be 990. Okay, that should be 990. So that's 990. Let me try and reduce this a bit so I can see the figure. So that's 990. That's what we have here. Okay, so as we have here 990. That's 990. So that is times 990. Okay. So for B, that is 20 all over 80 times 990. And for C, that is 20 all over 80 times 990. So let us quickly do the math. Do the calculation. 20 times 990 divided by 80. That's 247.5. So for C, that's 248. 248. The same applies to these two. So let us say this will be 247. This applies to B2. So approximation, to avoid approximation error. So 40 over 80. 40 times 990 divided by 80. That should give us 495, okay? 495, yes, that's 495. 495 dash. This is 495, okay? This is dash. This is 247. And this is 248. Okay, so we can now sum up. Can now sum up and have the total figure. So 2400 plus 1495 95 plus 95, that is 2895. Okay, 5 plus 205, that's 3100. Okay, the second one, 200 2100 plus 411 plus 247. I'm trying to beat the 15 minutes time I have. That is 2758. 758. So the next one, 1500 plus 308 plus 248. That's 2056. 2056. So addition of 256 plus 2958 plus 3100. So this is going to give us 8114. 8114. Okay. My question says that we have 10,000. Calculate the cost per unit of 10,000 units. Okay, so cost per unit